Go! Go!
Panasonic.
Hey there friends, how's it going? My name is Yoamushi, and welcome back to the Yuvin Community Cup Season 2, this time not with one, not two, but three different esports titles, that is Dota 2, CSGO, and Pubg Mobile. This tournament is powered by IT Peripherals Private Limited, a market entry and distribution specialist with presence in more than 25 locations, including Hong Kong, UAE, and SAARC regions. Its portfolio consists of 25 plus brands, 3,000 products, and 5 1,000 dealers. And before we go on any further, this is Sleepy Boys versus Reckoning Esports blitzing through the new ban pick phase. Of course, 2 bans now for each side. Going to be 3 bans in the next ban phase for each. But first pick, Lycan, is going to be the name of the game for Sleepy Boys. Hello, Misery. How's it going?
It's going good. A new patch has just been dropped right before the lower bracket finals. I'm just excited to see how these two teams are gonna adapt to the new changes. A bunch of new changes introduced, like network changes, gold changes, armor changes. Let's see who's gonna come out on top of this.
No hero changes though, so it'll be interesting to see what these teams think and how the indirect economy changes affect the drafting. I'm not really sure if it will. Looks like they're like, and so everything seems to be as ordinary. Sponsored by Cooler Master India, by the way. This tournament, don't just forget about them. Sponsored by Cooler Master India, the Indian subsidiary of the computer hardware manufacturer based in Taiwan, founded in 1992. Of course, it produces computer cases, power supplies, air and liquid CPU coolers, laptop cooling pads, and computer peripherals. And last but not least, it's the Yuvin Community Cup Season 2, so obviously it's brought to you by Yuvin Esports Private Limited, whose motto is to engage with esports communities across South Asia and Southeast Asian regions and provide opportunities for knowledge sharing to these players. So if you guys want to see more games, more CSGO, Pubg Mobile, it's from tomorrow onwards all the way to 7th July. And today, of course, Dota 2, we've got the lower bracket finals now in the AM, and in the evening, that's when we have that grand final. So stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. Keep on going. And speaking of keep on going, the draft has kept on going. That is a Keeper of the Light. And Sleepy Boys, they have the Grimstroke. Any thoughts on that opening combo from School to Squad?
Yeah, I would like to talk about the Lycan pickup. I mean, the recent changes to the Helm Dominator and the Necrobook just makes this hero much more stronger. Now the Necrobook Archer does not have any aura, and the damage type of the summons from the Necrobook have changed their type. Is going to be higher towards the hero. I think that was the one of the more significant changes, and it's going to do less damages to creep. But Lycan really uses his Necrobook to go and mow down the supports, right? So the Necrobooks and the summon from the Helm Dom is going to do more damage effectively. So yeah, I think a very smart pickup. They went through the patch changes, you know.
Yeah, and one interesting thing, of course, you're right in that the Lycan is one of the few heroes that buys Necronomicon but does not really farm with it. It's not really a farming tool for him, more of just pick up and fight. So absolutely agree with you. Bad Rider going to be picked up there for Reckoning Esports. This hero, it's been played to great effect inside this tournament. Surprisingly in the mid role, and it's really good against Lycan, right?
Yeah, it is. We saw Nile Esports pick up the Bat Rider in one game. They unfortunately lost that match, and we have seen Bat Rider being picked up by Crawley for the side of Reckoning. He played it yesterday in the 2 games against Yangon Galacticos, but it did not work out for them. They did lose those 2 games. So I think I don't know why they're still going for that. I think they really want to use this hero in some other sort of manner, I suppose.
We could see it, once again, it's a very versatile hero. Could be from 2 all the way to 5. Can go in that off lane, can go in either of the support positions. So wouldn't really surprise me to see it in any of those roles. Versatile picks are always there for a reason. The one thing that would surprise me if they put it 5, because there's already a Keeper of the Light. But the Juggernaut going to be banned there from Reckoning Esports. That's an interesting ban. I haven't even seen this hero be banned or picked in the recent games. Juggernaut, why do you think they suddenly ban it now?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it is the spin is usually good against the Bat Rider to dispel any kind of sticky napalm stacks on the hero, but yeah, they banned the Slark as well, right? They really don't want the Bat Rider to get punished in lane. But other than that, I really don't know. I don't think Jug is effectively a really strong hero. It does well against some heroes. Works well with heroes that really want to push early on with the healing ward. But other than that, I don't think Jug offers too much in this meta. Maybe a preferential ban, I guess.
It could be. These players, of course, they know each other very, very well. I am told that No Chance and Blizzard were on that, everybody knows about them. Signify. And guess who else was on Signify? Crawley and Swifty. Is that right, Misery?
Yeah, and yeah, that's right. Even Negi was there on Signify, and these guys were undefeated for 2 years in the Indian competitive scene. Like no one could take even like a series off of them. So now they are of course playing for two different sides, the Squirtle Squad and Reckoning Esports. It's going to be very interesting to see how this matchup is going to go, considering the fact these guys know each other inside and out. No strategy is hidden from anyone. So yeah, I think improvisation has to come in factor in this game.
Yeah, and improvisation. Speaking of improvisation, the Earth Spirit, that's an improvised hero. I haven't seen this hero at all throughout this tournament. 4 position, maybe even in the 2 position. You could play at the, as Thompson likes to do it, Earth Spirit in middle. It does allow you to set the tempo very, very quickly, but it's not that effective against that Lycan that tends to just swarm you with units. You don't have the sort of deep push that you need to deal with the Lycan, nor do you have that extreme burst damage that some of the other mids can put out. Why do you think to pick up that Earth Spirit here? I think it's just to prey on heroes like the Grimstroke, and also just to force the Lycan out of the lane, perhaps, with early rotations, but once that Lycan pops the ulti, I don't think you're going to be very useful.
Yeah, but at the same time, right, I'm looking at the duo of Batrider, Earth Spirit. They do a lot. In the lane, if you get rolled on, then I'm pretty sure the Batrider is going to swoop in and Firefly you, and you're going to take a lot of damage. If you're not going to like be around the lane, it's like going to zone you out of the lane, right? This duo is a deadly combination, and that's something the Lycan and Grimstroke have to be careful around in the safe lane.
Yeah, have to keep their eyes wide open. As a support, you probably want to get one of those outside lane wards in. You'll probably see something like the High Ground Observer ward if they're going for the Radiant. That side, Oracle going to be picked up here from Squirtle Squad, which means that their combination is a 5 Oracle and a 4 Grimstroke. Not the greatest of damaging combos. Of course, a lot of damage coming out of Stroke of Fate and Purifying Flames, but beyond that, the lockdown is average at best, and it does provide a lot of defensive utility. It's going to top off that Lycan if he's in any sort of trouble whatsoever. You always have the False Promise option. A good pick against the Batrider as well. If you drop False Promise, of course, the lasso is immediately dispelled. You have nothing to fear.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to talk about. The Oracle can debuff the Flaming Lasso, and it's always good against the Earth Spirit. You can always have the Fortune's End on yourself and negate any kind of magical damage coming onto you or your allies. And we see a Tidehunter being picked up.
Reckoning Esports, they're really running something unorthodox here. What is going on in their draft?
Wait. So Batrider and a Tidehunter. So this is not a offlane Batrider, right? Or are they gonna pull some weird like switcheroo or something, and the Tidehunter goes mid? I mean, what would you prefer, a Bat mid or a Tide mid?
I think if you have a melee matchup in middle, the Tidehunter is perfectly fine there. Even against some of the weaker ranged heroes, it's okay. But if you pick something that can shove out lanes effectively, like the Death Prophet, like the Lina, that's when the Tidehunter starts feeling a little bit scared. And that is one of the few melee heroes that Tidehunter cannot lane against. Ursa is here for the side of Squirtle Squad.
I don't think I really like the Ursa there, because now Reckoning is gonna be looking at placing the Tidehunter against the Lycan and the Batrider against the Ursa, and there's going to be a lot of musical lanes that's going to be shown in the first game here, the lower bracket finals.
Yeah, and it feels to me that there's no need to play musical lanes if you are the team picking into the enemy, right? Because you already know that this Tidehunter is going to be a core. He's pretty much stuck in that role. There's no way you play a support Tidehunter, I don't think. So you had the choice of just picking something that ensures that you always have a stable lane matchup. Now you pick this Ursa, and you're saying, I only want to lane against the Tidehunter. It's a little bit problematic. But if you do get it, if for some reason Reckoning Esports does not try to swap around the lanes, things could get hairy very quickly for this hero.
Yeah, I think Reckoning has some plan. I would also like to point out the fact that Reckoning has a coach. They have a coach, so they have not like just 5 minds who are like trying to analyze the patch. They have 6 minds who are doing it at the moment, but on the side of Squirtle Squad there is no one who's going to be guiding them, right? So of course a little bit advantage to Reckoning Esports. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I would, and the way that the Reckoning Esports pick, it does seem that there's some sort of strategy here, because we're seeing so many unorthodox picks coming out of them.
And
I just hope that they've read the patch the right way.
Yeah, we see an unorthodox ban also, right? We saw the Juggernaut being banned. Like,
Yeah,
Maybe.
even that Storm Spirit, I'm not sure about that Storm Spirit ban because they did have good ways of locking down the Storm Spirit, but clearly they have a strategy here, and the Storm Spirit ban, it makes a little bit of sense. You want to get rid of the Keeper of the Light as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Storm
yeah.
Spirit is one of the few heroes that can do it. It's just that they had the Ravage, had the Silence from the Earth Spirit, and had the Lasso, all of which are very, very good at just isolating an overextended storm. So I see the reasoning, but I still feel that there were better bans. What do you think Squad Squad will pick up though, if there is a better pick?
I am. I like. I mean, if Reckoning thinks that Storm Spirit was worthy of a ban, maybe Squirtle Squad might be looking at something on the lines of a Void Spirit. Can reach the backline, can be really disruptive, can initiate fights. Right now, I'm looking at Squirtle Squad. They don't have a form of initiation except the Lycan just chasing away supports, and you really don't want to start a fight like that, right? You want it to be a distraction which then allows the Lycan to come into the fight. And we see that a Queen of Pain is being picked up on the side of Squirtle Squad. Okay, I don't mind that too. It's a pretty good pick. Pretty strong in this patch. Allows some
Yeah,
kind of
you talked
initiation.
about heroes that can jump through the back line and kill somebody. Queen of Pain is one of them, Ember Spirit is one of them, Void Spirit is one of them. So those were always going to be the three premier options here. They go for the tried and tested Queen of Pain. That's probably going to be Moon on the Queen of Pain, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So might be an off-lane Lycan. I'm curious to see who's gonna play this. Is it gonna be No Chance or Negi? Considering the fact that they do have that lane role reversal or lane role switcheroo, pardon me. So yeah, no heroes being picked up on the side of Squirtle Squad. A last pick, Drow Ranger.
Huh. That's also not a hero that we've seen very often, but you do remember from 3 to 4 years ago, Tidehunter Drow Ranger was all the rage. Of course, the Ravage gives you a good way of setting up that fight. The Drow Ranger very good at pumping out damage from afar, and the Tidehunter just that beefy wall between you and her. So this is a tried and tested strategy here from Reckoning Esports. The question is, can it face up to the modern game? I'm not really sure. It's a good game for Drow Ranger. People were saying that the Drow Ranger, Ursa tends to be a good matchup against Drow Ranger if you can get the good farm. But that's why Drow Ranger is such a good hero when it comes to just flash farming. You get a good lane, you pop your level 6, immediately you're taking all the T1 towers, and you rotate very quickly. The Ursa, of course, rotates fast along with that Lycan, but if you're going for that Battle Fury build, there can come a point of time in between your Battle Fury and next item where the Drow Ranger is actually just right-clicking you in the face, and you can't actually touch her.
Yeah, I don't think Battle Fury is going to be the build for Blizzard this game. He has to deal with the silence that the Drow offers. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe a Skull Basher into early BKB. I think that seems to be on the card because they have a lot of lockdown. They have a lot of magic damage coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports with a combination of physical damage coming out from the Drow Ranger. I think Reckoning has to be the one who comes out on top of this drafting phase. Because I see Squirtle Squad and their picks seem pretty reactive rather than being proactive. Whereas on the side of Reckoning, they seem to be following some kind of strategy, right?
I just hope it's a good one. Wow, showing off the Keeper of the Light, the carousel taunt. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, we are live into this game. This is going to be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. It's an all-Indian derby. I say all-Indian, but of course, Reckoning Esports made stronger by their acquisitions, Killua and Luffy, the 1 and 4 position respectively on the side of Reckoning Esports, looking to be that X Factor. Killua has been insane these past few days. Even when they're losing, he makes a fantastic performance. I think he went what 15 and 6 yesterday on his PL, despite the fact that they were 30k behind. So a lot on the line for these two teams. Elimination means death, but it is a BO3, so game 1 might just be setting the tone. Misery, you want to pick one of these two teams to introduce, and I'll do the other one?
Yeah, I'm gonna start with introductions towards the Reckoning side. We have Object playing the Keeper of the Light position 5, has picked up himself an headdress. We have Killua, the newest addition to the side, playing the Drow Ranger on the position 1. Luffy playing the position 4 Earth Spirit. He has the boots. Swifty playing the mid Bat Rider. And we have, not last but not the least, Crowley playing the offlane Tidehunter.
Yeah, take a look at what Blizzard is doing. He's so happy to have this matchup. He has the Orb of Venom too. He actually went all in, assuming that he would get this matchup. And so it's a little surprising me that Reckoning doesn't choose to play musical lanes here. They still want that Bat Rider middle, but I suppose they just realized that the Tidehunter might not have a great time against Queen of Pain. Although I think it's fine. They're going to trade up blows down at bottom. Everybody should be A-okay this early into the game, though. And on the side of Squirtle Squad, no chance on that Grimstroke. It's going to be Moon in the mid lane on the Queen of Pain, the Indian Sumail. Negi on the off-lane Lycan, not something you see very commonly, but good enough all the same. It's going to be Blizzard on that Ursa. And last but not least, right next to him in the lane, it's his boy, Parasite. Being scouted out by an Observer Ward placed there. It's a very common Observer Ward. I expect it to be dewarded at some point, but for the time being, Luffy is just going to wail into him with those boots. And due to those changes, Crawley does not have the option of pulling the creep wave. So Tidehunter, he's going to not enjoy himself in this bot lane against an Ursa, a hero that excels at this matchup, even with that anchor smash. Take a look at this. Blizzard is just manning up against him.
Yeah, I'm looking at the items that are being delivered to Crawley at this point of time, and he realizes that he really needs boots, and he's going to be making the face boots perhaps. I'm not entirely sure, but he picks up his early on boots. That's going to allow him to get away from Blizzard in the lane, right?
It does, and it's one of the ways to stay safe. It's just that with the Orb of Venom and the Earthshock, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough,
Yeah.
but better safe than sorry. He has queued up the Vlads and the Magic Stick, so first item Vlads maybe back in the meta. It is 18% damage aura now, so helps that Draw Ranger, helps with that Death Ball style that I'm pretty sure they want to play because they have the Bat Rider and the Tidehunter along with that draw. In the mid lane, it's Bat Rider versus Queen of Pain, swiftly off to a fantastic start, 9-3, and Moon only 5-1 so far.
So yeah, this is the matchup that they really wanted, I guess. They realize that this is the last pick, Queen of Pain, and Swifty can have a pretty good time. It's gonna force out some early blinks from the side of Moon. I mean, if he gets
A little bit
couple of-
surprised that they don't put the Tidehunter middle versus the Queen of Pain because it looks a pretty good matchup. Meanwhile, down at bottom lane, we do miss first blood. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Blizzard just wails into that Tidehunter. He goes down. Nothing he can really do, even with the boots.
Yeah, I guess, but
Oh, up at top lane, by the way, a skirmish. No chance, caught out of position. He tries to get the Inkswell damage, but he won't get it. The multi-shot is there from Killua. Beautifully placed.
I know I should respect the dead, but first
he,
you have to earn it.
Object gets the D-Ward on the off lane. I mean the safe lane. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty influential because he really wants to pull the wave. Oh yeah, he gets the pull off, right? I think this is a really important pull.
Yeah, it's also a skirmish down at bottom, by the way. Luffy in a lot of trouble. Blizzard with the Earthclap will get it. Earthshock, a powerful spell, especially when you level it to level 2. Up at top lane, going to be another fight. Negi in some sort of trouble, perhaps. No, it's not. The Wolves will block up most of that multi-shot. It's chaos all around the map. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, I was just looking at the top lane. I really want to see how Negi is gonna do in his off lane. He looks to be building up the Helm of the Dominator as his first item. Object is trying to be annoying. We see a TP come out on top from Luffy, and we miss another kill.
Yeah,
man,
Luffy
a
has
lot of
realized that there's
detours.
nothing he can really do down at bot lane. He's never going to repel that Ursa, and the Oracle doesn't really care about his presence either. So he's going to come up top, try to get Killua an even better start. He's off to a pretty good one already. 18-4 on this Draw Ranger, 1 kill to his name. The main problem for Killua, he just feels that he needs to shove out Negi more because Negi getting a lot, rolling in, going to connect right on the edge and kicking him back. Negi knowing to escape from this one. They want to give Killua the kill. They will.
Die alone.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed that because I had a disconnect, but I'm back now. But I saw the ending parts of that, ending bit of it.
Don't worry too much about it. It does happen. No chance running around with that Haitian. Gonna look at Luffy in the pit. These guys are just toying with each other. It really doesn't make a difference what they do about this Haitian because
I'm looking at
of
the
course no
animation.
chance is not of an opportunity anywhere.
The animation on the Grimstroke picking up the Heishun is pretty funny. Has broom in front, or the paintbrush. Yeah, this lane at the bottom, I'm looking at Crawley's not having fun, right?
He could be in trouble here. He's looking for the kick back, but I don't think that's in range of Killua. Yeah, it's not. They're forcing the issue a little bit. They take too much damage there. Will decide to back off. Reckoning could not get anything. You were saying?
Yeah, I was talking about Crawley's lane, and as I say that he's being gone on by Blizzard, but he's gonna man up actually. He's trading hits with Blizzard. Is he gonna fall? Oh no, he's gonna be fine. I think
He
now
still had the full stick on the tide, yeah.
Yeah, and we see Luffy comes in. Couldn't connect the roll. I think he's gonna be fine. Yeah, everyone's fine. Everyone's happy. I'm looking at Parasite. Parasite has no skills in the Fate's Edict. I guess it's fine. He really wants to just maximize his output damage. I thought maybe a value point in Fate Edict to heal Blizzard in lane might be good.
Yeah, and it also does one important thing, which is it repels the Bat Rider if the Bat Rider tries for a solo kill. Of course, that might be coming up because 6-minute runes, Swifty does have the bottle. So if he picks up something useful like a DD or an Invis, he will try to make that solo play. Of course, it's not possible. The Grimstroke did just pick it up. It's an Invis down at bot lane. And interestingly enough, Crawley having a pretty good time on this Tidehunter. He might be in trouble there. They finally get the Fortune End onto him. Blizzard trying to man up. Hoppus finally pops the stick, and that's going to be that end rage. He just hit level 6, and he immediately uses it. Rolling in. Luffy, this is a bit greedy. He's trying to get the kill onto Blizzard there. He will not get the roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard kill. But we see Swifty is moving to the bottom lane with the Invis Rune. Maybe they can catch some kind of revenge, but Blizzard has salved up. I think they really need to switch up the lanes. As I say that, Crawley's gonna TP back in again. They really want to kill Blizzard right now. Okay, roll misses on Parasite. Commits the lasso, really just wants any kind of kill in this lane.
Yeah, they use the Flame Break as well. That's a very nicely played Flame Break. It means that Blizzard is also in trouble. 6 seconds for the end rage. Has the TP available. But there is that Rabbit from Poppers, and he will use it. Crawley, well played there. And Blizzard, he just roars up. Tries to buy a little bit of time. It's nothing. He's going to die. What was going on up there? In trouble with the Sonic Wave!
That was very well done. That was very well done. I mean, he realizes the fact that he really needs to commit everything. I like the decisiveness that comes out from Moon. And yeah, Killua's gonna die. He doesn't even have a TP to come back to lane. He's gonna do the long walk of shame.
That's painful for him. He's not exactly losing sleep over it. He's 3-1-0 on that Drow Ranger and 40 CS, so he's still doing pretty well for himself. It's just that
going on Crawley again. Just going from bad to worse for Crawley, and I think he's gonna fall again. And they really should nerf Aftershock. 55% slow. 6-second cooldown on level 4. That skill is just outright broken.
Yeah, and the repositioning that it offers too, it's so good defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I think they really need to switch it up now. They can't afford Crawley to die again. I mean, he has had 4 deaths already. And we see Negi in the top lane is just pressuring the tower. Okay, Crawley's gonna TP now. He's gonna soak up the damage and soak up the... Okay, they commit.
Yeah, running in with the Lycan Trophy, trying to get the kill onto Object there, but the blinding light means that the blind won't really help them do anything. So onto that Centaur, he manages to knock it away. Luffy, he does get stunned on the tail end of it, but Swifty is here to pick up an easy kill under no chance. Doesn't even want to commit the lasso. He will get it. Question of whether it's denied or not. It's not. Negi runs away, tail between his legs. Lycan not able to get anything with his first shapeshift.
Yeah, and look at Blizzard right now. He realizes that Draw is going to be around the vicinity and Killua is going to fall. Right? Really heads up play by the side of Scold's Court. They realize that if the Draw is not in top lane, he has to be farming in the dire triangle. And they put on a really good ward. I think it's going to get dewarded. But yeah, really heads up play by the side of Scold's Court. They realize that they need to be pressing the Draw Ranger. They cannot allow her to farm freely.
To agree with that. Object doesn't seem to realize that he walked over a ward. He is picking about it. We need vision, he says. And Blizzard is just gonna pick up that free kill. He does not care. Object, you're dead.
Man, that should give away at least this ward, right? The ward on the high ground.
It should, yeah. Probably one of the two, because either way he would have had vision of the corridor, whether it's the deeper one or the external one. But Killua, I think you're in trouble here. What is this TP? They're trying to TP heroes to help him out.
Yeah, I mean he has. He's got to have some support from his position for Loopy. Now we see Moon blinks
Blizzard
in.
is diving him under the tower. He's
no.
dead. Again, back-to-back deaths there, and Moon is coming in. Luffy cannot stand the pressure. Probably the TP, and he goes for the Ravage, trying to get the kill on the Blizzard there. It's something for their troubles, but Drow Ranger, he was 3-0-0, now he's 3-3.
Yeah, not a good start for the side of Reckoning. Already a 3k net worth lead for the side of Squirtle Squad. I thought at the bottom engagement, Blizzard's gonna move towards Parasite because he had the false promise, but I guess he's gonna be fine. He's gonna save it for another day. I'm looking at Moon. He has queued up an Orchid Malevolence, and there is no way really to dispel it on the side of Reckoning. Of course, the Kraken Shell is gonna be helping out. I see Blizzard is gonna go on Crowley, but chooses not to dive him. They get the D-ward. They get the D-ward in the triangle.
Yeah, thank God they do, because otherwise Killua is going to have a terrible time. He really needs to retreat to the jungle, as Drow Rangers who don't get a great start in lane 10 to need to do. No one is farming the top lane, by the way. There's just both sides thinking that's way too scary. And Negi and No Chance, they are looking at this T1 tower middle. They're waiting to pop that Shapeshift, pop that Inkswell, do a little bit of combination plays, but no one to combination play on, because Reckoning Esports realize that that's not something they can contest. They're all bunched up in their side of the map, scared.
Yeah, they know that the Ravage
meanwhile down at
extended.
bot lane, Crawley being dived by Blizzard. One more hit, yeah, he does get it, no problem there, but the last two is there. It lasts only for 1 second though, due to that enrage. And they pop the Caudal Lamp as well. Oh, the Caudal Lamp actually hits into Luffy, rolling Boulder there. That's going to be a kill on the Blizzard. Mundo may be in trouble. The Sonic Wave onto two heroes. It's okay, but it's not good enough. Luffy on the run, along with Object. He's going to be denied here, maybe. No, Luffy will die. It's Negi coming in. No way there was a deny. And now Swifty in trouble. He's being dived inside his own trees.
That was a disaster. A team wipe at 12 minutes in. Lanes were not going good for them anyways, and now it just seemed to be falling apart for the side of Reckoning.
Proving once again that just because you have a plan doesn't mean it's a good one. We questioned it, can it stand up to the rigors of the modern game? Can this Drow Tidehunter stand up to, modern formulations, this Zoo strategy, these double beasts in the Ursa and the Lycan? It cannot.
Yeah, and as I was talking about, Blizzard picks up the Skull Basher. He's gonna go for the Abyssal, early Abyssal in the game. He knows that he needs to be the one who is gonna, start the fight. He has the Oracle to dispel him if he gets caught out of position. I don't know, what does Reckoning need to do differently. They have a 7k net worth lead at 13 minutes in. Doesn't look too good for them.
I think what they want to do is that they want to make sure that they're using that Ravage offensively. So far, 2 Ravages, 2 kills, not too bad, but you really want to get 2-3 kills every time you use a Ravage. You want to get a tower for your troubles. Take a look at every single tower on the side of Sleepy Boisz. None of them are even below 75% HP.
Oh man. And Objects is gonna die to Moon. Yeah, just committed the Shadow Strike. Maybe Parasite helped him a lot too. And we see No Chance is already in the pit. They really want to press the issue and take the Roshan for themselves.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no way they can contest this, right?
There is possibly a chance, but it requires the Tidehunter to do a Blink Dagger or something, which he's definitely not getting. He's going for the Vladimir, so without that initiation, it's just not possible. They're just going to take this very, very quickly, and I presume what they're going to do is they're going to death ball down all the T2s before going for that Jugular.
This looks rough. Swifty picks himself Boots of Travel. Has to be the one who creates some kind of pressure in the map. He needs to go around the side lanes and push them out. They really cannot defend any kind of lane. Look at No Chance and his positioning. He knows that there is no way that he can die.
Yeah, the Invis Inkswell Wolf, it's gonna catch Swifty there, and Swifty cannot get out of this one. The multi-shot being channeled, Wacky with the stick. They don't get the final blow onto Swifty. That's gonna be a Ravage onto 3 heroes. It's a very good one, but can they kill off anybody? No chance going to go down first. Blizzard, he's low, but he has the Enrage, and more importantly, he has the Aegis. Falls from his watch thrown onto Queen of Pain. It finally does wear off. They're going to take a lot of damage on the side of Sleepy Boys, and that's where the Sonic Wave comes in onto 3 heroes. Blizzard, he's going to lose his first life here, I think, to Killua. No, actually, Moon standing his ground, forcing Killua to back off.
No one has died. I mean, Parasite was very low, but he does not die. Buyback has been forced from No Chance. That's gonna mark the end of that engagement. I guess not too bad for Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, not too bad at all. It's a good Ravage onto 3 heroes. All of them were very, very close to the epicenter of that Ravage, of course, but just not able to get that damage out. And that comes back to the draft as well. Killua is the only real source of damage, I think, once you know the amplify, the magnetize goes off.
Yeah, that's right. They have, you know, Squad Squad have to respect the amount of team fight that the Reckoning can offer. They have to be a little more careful when they're starting the engagements. We saw No Chance was a little bit out of position. He thought that he cannot die. I think that fight could have gone much better for the side of Reckoning if Swiftly didn't lasso Negi right into Killua's face. I mean, as soon as he brings him too close to Killua, he's going to lose his marksmanship aura and does significantly less damage. So yeah, something that they have to be careful about.
But at the very least, Reckoning Esports knows that that could have gone much worse than it did. Of course, they did not take the Aegis, and more importantly, all they killed was the Grimstroke. So in the end, no real damage done to Sleepy Boys. They're just going to continue pushing. All they did was delay it by about 1 minute. Moon going to blink in with that Ink Cell straight onto Object, but Object runs so damn quickly. That's the power of this Caudal hero. 370 move speed, I think.
Yeah, I think Squad really wanted to just bait out the ultimates from the side of Reckoning. Now they know that there's no Will-O-Wisp, there's no Ravage. They can just go from tower to tower and take the whole of entirety of this region.
This is their land now. Killua are going to farm up this bot lane. They're taking control of this bot side of the map. This is the typical play to make. They're trading the top half for the Radiant, and maybe they'll put a little bit of pressure on this T2 tower, but Sleepy Boys, they're okay with the tempo of this game. They're going to farm up here, get some deep wards up, and more importantly, you know, think about getting those T2 towers left in the mid and the bot lane.
Killua has queued up Manta style, but is it gonna change anything? Okay. Object dies again. Negi commits his ult. What do you think about Negi's build? He goes for a Vlad and a Helm Dom, no Necrobug.
I think it's fine. I suppose for him, he just feels that he has to play the role of that traditional offlane a little bit more, right? He needs those defensive auras because no one else is going to pick them up. So he's looking at that AC. It's a good mix in between offensive play and just protecting the rest of his team. So I like it. I like it. Vlad's AC, you know, always a pretty strong option. Gives you lifesteal, gives you armor. No, both things that you really, really want against this Jaw Ranger.
Yep. The bot lane, No Chance is just gonna push the wave out. Has the maxed out Ink Swell. Yeah, I think they just want to focus on the lockdown. He doesn't want to have like more damage from coming out from the Stroke of Fate. Yeah, I like that. I think it's okay, considering the fact that his team needs some kind of lockdown and they have means to reach the side of Reckoning.
Swifty is going to get a kill on No Chance here. They commit a little bit too much with the lasso. I think that just the rolling boulder would have been enough, but a kill is a kill. They will get it, and it's something. Breadcrumbs really for the side of Reckoning, but this is time that they're not dying across the map, so they're happy to just farm up.
I don't know. Golden Squad have the ages, but they don't seem to be too comfortable pushing into the mid lane right away. Still waiting for the BKB on Blizzard. He's still waiting for an Ogre Axe. 300 gold away from that. Gonna have the BKB, and I think that'll be go time for Squad Squad. They're gonna group up and take the remaining tier 2 towers.
I do have some questions in my head about why they don't just push with the Aegis. I'm not sure the BKB is really necessary. Yeah, you just saw the Aegis get reclaimed. You maybe should have tried to use that because yeah.
I guess it's okay, but Killua is not gonna be too sad about it, right? He knows that he needs some more item, he needs some more time to come online, and Reckoning is gonna use this time effectively to farm. As I say that, I'm just looking at object. He's standing in the mid lane, just gonna push it out. TP coming out from the side of Blizzard in the bottom lane. Reckoning should bail right now. They realize that they have forced some tasks, they have forced some heroes down at the bottom lane, and now they can go back and reclaim their own jungle.
Yeah, they forced 4 heroes down here. Wow, that's impressive. And now Negi maybe caught out. He pops a shapeshift and just runs away. Not in time in with the boots of travel on the Batrider. They did smoke up on this Tidehunter. They're looking for a Ravage somewhere. Nah, he would just reveal himself. So
Yeah,
it just
both the
seems that Sleepy
outposts-
Boys just see that map control.
Yeah, both the outposts controlled by Sleepy Boys, right? I thought Swifty is gonna take the one on top, but he chooses to TP in the mid lane. They thought some kind of engagement was gonna break out. But yeah, Swifty has picked up his Blink Daggers, looking to farm up his BKB. He doesn't have an option to go any other item, right? Do you think he can pick up any other item in this matchup? He really needs the BKB, right?
He really does. The other options would be the Ghost Scepter, which does help him a lot this game. It does mean that the only one thing can really deal with him is the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and Object has picked himself a Ghost Scepter. It's gonna allow him to live a little bit longer in team fights. And yeah, it's kind of a stalemate. We have reached a stalemate in this match. Both the teams content at just farming away.
Yeah, Moon though, his smoke did break. He knows that there's somebody here. He lands it perfectly onto Luffy, but that's actually the better play there. Reckoning Esports are happy with this because who else was TPing? It was actually Swifty on that Batrider, and Luffy, he's
Gets
gonna
away.
waste that. Oh, he's actually gonna get out! This is an easy. Oh my goodness!
That was a Pogger's play. You know, realizes that the lack of lockdown on the side of Squirtle Squad. He saw that the Fortune's End was used, and the only thing that's going to stop him is the Inkswell, so he can just roll away from that.
Ankles were broken right there. There was also the clumsy net on that Lycan, but just not in range. He didn't expect Moon to just not be able to connect with the kill.
Okay, Negi doesn't have boots, but he has picked himself an Assault Cuirass. Oof. I mean, that's a scary wolf right there. You know, I mean, just look at the summons doing so much damage to the creeps right there.
Tidehunter picked up a halberd, and Urstrid is looking for his own halberd. It's useful against the Lycan and the Ursa as well. It's
Yeah,
just
actually,
not going to deal well with the fact that these heroes can actually survive very long in these fights, right? Lycan, you're dependent on your shapeshift cooldown, but one halberd on you, you can just back off and come back in.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get the halberd out before the BKB, that's going to be something that's going to help them a lot. But yeah, good pickups. You know, I really like the halberd pickup from the side of Reckoning Esports. Killua has picked himself an Hurricane Pike. Realizes that he needs to be the one that needs to have some kind of positioning in the team fight. And a smoke comes out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Squirtle Squad are like close, they're sticking, and they're kind of expecting some kind of movement from the side of Reckoning Esports. The top lane is pushing. I think that's going to be some kind of a giveaway, right?
Yeah, the top lane is pushing, the mid lane is pushing, no one's farming under the T2 tower. They know this is coming, but they also know that the Roshan is important to play around, and both sides pretty much aware that it's time to go now. That's why the smoke did happen. Blizzard roaring up next to the pit. He's gonna walk in. Was that spotted by Luffy? It was. Luffy pings it. He knows. And probably thinking about going in on the Tidehunter. He barely scouts it out. Sees that it's 75% HP. The 75% is not a lot against Ursa.
Look at Moon, where he's positioning himself. He really wants to jump the Drow Ranger. Wants to get rid of that marksmanship.
Yeah, he's gonna try to bait with that the illusion rune. That could be very, very big. Yeah, they're going to commit stuff onto it. It's the multi-shot. It's a very, very long cooldown on that multi-shot. It's very important for this fight as well, especially in a crowded area like the Roche Pit. Blizzard trying to finish off this kill, but probably is just kind of hanging around in the pit. He does not care. The Inkswell is going to be put onto this bed. And there's going to be a roll in on Luffy, onto that Grimstroke, no chance. But there's going to be a Ravage. It barely catches the two supports. That's fantastic. Right there on the edge. But the Aegis is picked up by Blizzard. They tried to steal the Aegis. It's not going to happen. Killua was picked up by Moon in the meantime. The two supports in the back line will stay alive. Luffy doing a lot of work here. He's killing them off. But meanwhile, the cause from the side of Sleepy Boys, they picked off the Batrider. They picked off the Drow Ranger. They're going in for the jugular. Take down this T2 tower. Force out that buyback if you can. It's time to go. You still have that Aegis. It was so close there. They could have just ravaged and stolen the Aegis, but barely in the nick of time, Ursa picks up the kill and immortal Aegis.
I mean, like, even if they get hit by the Ravage, you know, Para had positioned himself in a very good spot, was ready with the false promise. I think no matter how they would have started the fight, it would have gone the same way. They just, the 10k net worth lead is just too much for the side of Reckoning Esports to come back from now. Now they have the Aegis. Cheese being picked up on the side of Moon. High ground defense is the name of the game for Reckoning Esports now.
The next wave of items is starting to come out from the side of Sleepy Boys, dude. This is so hard to deal with. Grimstroke really wants the Aghanim Scepter. He's going to pick up that Grim Portrait, I believe it's called. Dark Portrait, is that right?
Yeah, Dark
it's
Portrait.
It's the illusion. It deals more damage than an actual hero, and it's really good against heroes that do nothing but right click, aka the Draw Ranger.
I'm looking at. I was not looking at that, but that's for sure. But yeah, object falls to Blizzard. Abyssal Blade has been picked up on the side of Blizzard. That's gonna allow him to get kills left, right, and center. In the mid lane, we see Negi in some trouble, gonna fall. They commit the lasso. Yeah. I thought he shouldn't have survived for that long. If Parasite was a little closer, he could have gotten off the false promise, and that could have been a team fight from the side of Squirtle Squad. Like a, but yeah. I mean, they don't seem to be 100% in sync, right? Reckoning, they are having some misplays. They're having a really hard time in this matchup. Looking at Swifty, he is 6th in terms of net worth. Not too happy with his performance, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's been okay with his lassos. He only has 2 deaths, of course, to his name, so it's not like he's feeding or anything. He's just finding it difficult to find an easy opening in these fights to make himself useful. Without that opening, the side of Reckoning just doesn't have a clear initiation. Yeah, you can initiate with that Tidehunter Ravage, but that's only going to catch like 1, maybe 2 heroes unless they cluster around an objective. So you really need a Bat Rider to be the one going in and catching out that hero, and that's a problem because there are so many good ways to respond to that on the side of Sleepy Boys. You have the Enrage, so if you Enrage in time, which you almost always should be able to, it lasts like 1 second, your lasso. Same thing for that False Promise, of course. Yeah, Object dies again. Why was Object here?
Making space.
Oh, Abyssal Blade onto Luffy. Yeah, Blizzard will get this kill cleanly. Oh no, actually no. With that Halberd, yeah, Luffy was always going to be safe, I suppose, after he survived that initial burst, because that Halberd is there. Digs up a salve. He's 3 on him. Luffy, he's still hanging around. Doesn't realize that Blizzard is waiting for him on the high ground. He'll eventually leave though.
Swifty just content with cutting waves. He realizes that he needs to do this.
Luffy in trouble. Silence onto him. The Inkswell Wolves coming in. He sees the damage, but he doesn't see a way out. Luffy is going to die to Blizzard.
When do you think it's gonna be go time for Squirtle Squad high ground? I mean, they have the Aegis, but they still don't seem to be too convinced with their lead, I guess. They're still not going ahead and claiming the tier 3. Playing it safe.
I don't know. This might be one of those DK versus IG situations where you're far enough ahead. You're like 12,000 net worth hit at 28 minutes. You think that that's a comfortable lead, and all of a sudden it's 60 minutes into the game. You only have 1 set of racks up, and then they're much stronger than you. So they need to go now. This Lycan, his effectiveness is going to start falling off soon.
Yeah, at the same time, I think they are kind of starving the side of Reckoning. They're forced to farm in a very small side of the map. And yeah, the net worth lead just keeps increasing for the side of Reckoning. As I say that, they're going to group up and probably smoke. I think they're just waiting for No Chance. No Chance has picked himself his axe. Yeah, that's right. They smoke with him without him anyway. So yeah, waiting for Object and Luffy in the bottom lane.
Yeah, oh my god, breaks. Object is breaking the smoke once again. This is A-okay. Whatever, my job here is done.
Aegis gets reclaimed.
For the first time this game, Object is happy to die. He's A-okay with that.
Yeah, and tier 3 items being picked up on both sides now. We see Killua got the Orb of Distraction, sends it back to his stash. Who do you think is gonna pick that item up? Orb of Destruction, really good. Got nerfed in this patch. Huh. Are you looking at this? Negi has picked himself an Aghanim Scepter. Uses the bite on Blizzard. Now Blizzard is a wolf and a bear. Abyssals onto Killua, and Killua is gonna fall. Okay, I really like the pickup. I really like the pickup, right? Axe is so good.
Yeah, it allows him to just man mode in. You just run in like an animal. 650 movement speed straight onto the draw ranger. No way the draw escapes even with that hurricane bite. It's such a smart play here by Negi to pick up this Aghanim Scepter. Big brain, big brain.
Yeah, big brain time. We saw that he was running from the dire triangle to the dire outpost. I mean, and he covered that distance really quickly. Something that Killua was not expecting to see. And yeah, I'm happy with it. It's kind of a meme pickup, but yeah, it's paying its dividends, right? It's gonna be pretty good for the side of Reckoning. Two big wolves chasing you down. That's gonna be scary.
Yeah, and it's a 22-second Shukuchi for an ally, so I don't think Reckoning thinks it's a funny meme at this point in time. There's gonna be an Inkstyle portrait onto this Tidehunter, but jumping in, Luffy, he's gonna die. Sacrificial Lamb here. He whiffs on the boulder, but if Poppers gets out alive, he's gonna be A-okay. If the Sonic Whip hits two heroes on the edge,
Killua is
looking
gonna die
for
again.
a Ravage. Oh, that's gonna be a lasso onto this Wolf Bear, and that's gonna use up the Aegis, but the Ravage, it does nothing! These heroes have BKB! Crawley, what are you doing? They throw out the Gush, but it doesn't really do much of anything. Blizzard being manned up upon by Killua. Killua's gonna die back here. It's GG. There's no way to come back from this. What was that Ravage? Onto two BKB heroes. Blizzard in the middle of the pit.
I don't think they're gonna
don't
GG
have
out, but
damage.
are they gonna lose Blizzard? I don't see anyone. Okay, they have the False Promise. He's gonna be fine. They're just styling all over Reckoning. Blizzard goes in on again on Swifty, and he falls.
Yeah, what just happened in the matter of 20 seconds?
GG
That Wolf form on this bear just shreds everybody. Luffy's trying to get one final kill before he dies. Luffy, you know, he's played really, really well this game. I want to say he's been in the right places at the right time, but his draft just doesn't have enough opportunities to go in.
Did you see Swifty just puts out GG Doggy, and then some kind of banter coming out from both sides. But yeah, Squirrel Squad just swarmed over Reckoning Esports. Just gonna take game one away from their side. What are your thoughts on this game? It really did not work out for them. They had a plan, and they came up with a strategy, and that did not work out for them. Hello, Yuva, are you
I think
there?
one of the main problems that they ran into, right, is that they picked this pick-off lineup in the Earthspirit and the Bat Rider. You know, these are heroes that clearly want the pick-off. But you don't have a source of damage, right? You have this Drow Ranger. So anytime you want to get a pick-off, it has to be that Earthspirit and the Bat Rider plus that Drow Ranger moving. And that's always going to be an issue. Because not only is your Drow Ranger a hero that really likes to be more static and farmy and have a team around him at all times instead of picking off pick-offs, you know, 2 versus 1, it also is very easy to isolate, especially up against the Lycan and an Ursa, both heroes that excel at standing on you. And on top of that, you have a Queen of Pain and the Inkswell from Grimstroke as well. It was always going to be difficult to execute, especially against heroes that can just break your ranks like that. You have a solid formation in Reckoning Esports lineup. The formation is very clear. You have Tidehunter in front, you have Drow Ranger in behind. Swifty is going to be, you know, the one isolating single targets, and Object drops the Caller ulti. But that's a machine. In a machine, every part has to work well, and Squad, they just have so many easier plays to make that it's a drafting issue for me. It's a drafting issue.
Yeah, even the lanes did not go as they had planned. We were expecting some kind of a lane switcheroo coming out, but they didn't do that. They put the Tide against the Ursa. Swifty went mid with his Bat Rider. That didn't do great. And Killua was doing good in top lane, but that wasn't enough.
Yeah, and the question is, you know, why don't you put that Tidehunter middle? Because Tidehunter doesn't actually mind Queen of Pain. The dagger, yeah, it hurts, but you're beefy. You have the Kraken Shell to purge it off / reduce the right-click damage that you take from Queen of Pain. Yeah, you're going to spend a lot of gold on regen, but it's better that you spend the gold on regen and you keep the Bat Rider there to shut down the Ursa, right? Because Blizzard, you know, 10 minutes into laning phase, he had 5.3k net worth, easily the net worth leader by far. And the problem is, he wasn't the only net worth leader. Both Lycan and Queen of Pain had 5,000 gold.
Yeah. I mean, that was just rough for them. I hope they can come back from this defeat, come up with a new strategies, come up with some kind of other plan for game number 2. Of course, this is a best of 3, and game 2 is going to be pretty interesting if the loser, if Reckoning drops game 2, they're going to be eliminated from Yuvin Community Cup season 2, and Squirtle Squad will be going in the grand finals. Let's see. Let's hope that we get a good game. And yeah, I think that's it from our side. We'll be back with game number 2.
Yeah, we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to eat something.
Okay, see you guys.
Go. Go.
Panasonic. Go. Panasonic.
Go.
Hello, this is Purge, bringing your first friendly pick commentary. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Purge, it's Yowamushi and Misery Signals here to bring you Game 2 of this best of 3 between Reckoning Esports and Squirtle Squad. It is the losers finals, so you lose, you go home, and Reckoning Esports, their backs on the wall because they already lost game 1. The score, ladies and gentlemen, the scoreboard lies to you. The score is 1-2 Squirtle Squad, aka Sleepy Boys. So Reckoning Esports, they come up with a win or they come up empty-handed and go home. They're going to ban out that Chen. They're going to ban out that Lycan on the side of Squirtle Squad. Reckoning Esports, last game they tried an experimental draft. They picked up the Tidehunter, the Draw Ranger, heroes that you've not seen in maybe 16 generations, and they were punished hard for it by that Lycan. So, Misery, what do you expect from Reckoning Esports in this draft now?
They go with the first pick, Nature's Prophet. I think they have to change some kind of plan. Their initial plan didn't work out, so I think they're gonna use plan B, I guess. And they go with the Nature's Prophet first pick. And Earthshaker.
It seems very obvious now that they're going back to what works and what is straightforward for them. They pick up that Nature's Prophet right there. And the next pick, I presume, will be something along those lines as well. Maybe the Caudal. They are huge fans of it. It gives you a lot in this meta. It helps to dissuade those physical attackers because of that blind. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up that Caudal. That is my prediction here. Any prediction for you?
I think it's still very open. They can still go for anything that's good against the Earthshaker. Probably a Clockwork. Or they can just go back to the Batrider that they have done time and time again.
It's a hero that they're very comfortable with. I'm just not sure that it's the right play against a squad like Squirtle Squads, where they have a preference for these 3 cores, right? Squirtle Squad, you always see them. They pick up something like the Queen of Pain, like the Puck, and then they pick up 2 cores they can run in, the Ursa, maybe the Lycan. Always 3 cores they can run in, so if you lasso one person, you have 2 cores standing on top of you that take control of the fact that they are not being controlled up. Reckoning Esports, they're going to go for the tiny burst damage. They are very used to this hero indeed. And Sleepy Boys, they'll go for that Phantom Lancer.
First phase Phantom Lancer. I think that's going to be a really good pickup. They understand that it will get banned out in the next phase. The new ban phase has 2-3-2 banning system. So yeah, they pick it up in the first phase. It's pretty good for them, I guess.
Yeah, and what's even better is that they have 3 bans to deal with any counter picks for the PL as well. So they have good ways to just remove those picks against the Phantom Lancer. Leshrac probably forefront of that. Ember Spirit as well deals very well with the Phantom Lancer and is just a very strong hero in general. So I expect to see Sleepy Boisz ban out that Ember Spirit at the very minimum. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what else we can expect? We can expect not one, not two, but 3 different esports titles at the Yuvin Community Cup Season 2. The 3 esports titles, of course, Dota 2, CSGO, and Pubg Mobile. This tournament powered by IT Peripherals Private Limited, a market entry and distribution specialist with presence in more than 25 locations, including Hong Kong, the UAE, and SAARC regions. Its portfolio consists of 25 plus brands, 3,000 products, and 5,000 dealers. And of course, we are sponsored by Cooler Master India, the Indian subsidiary of the computer hardware manufacturer based in Taiwan, founded in 1992. The company produces computer cases, power supplies, air and liquid CPU coolers, laptop cooling pads, and computer peripherals. So, ladies and gentlemen, Yuvin Community Cup, still 2 more games to go. CSGO, Pubg Mobile, do stay with us. Stay with us for the entire Dota 2 finals today, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just this match. There still is a grand finals after this. This was brought to you by Yuvin Esports Private Limited, whose motto is to engage with esports communities across South Asia and Southeast Asian regions, and also provide opportunities for knowledge sharing to these players. So 26th June to 7th July, keep your calendars open, keep coming back to this channel and see all the action. This is your Mushi. I am joined by Misery Signals, and if you guys want to pick up any headphones, any monitors, do scroll down inside that YouTube video. Take a look at the description. There are discount codes right there, 35%, 40%, all sorts of discount codes for you. Get in on the action.
I like trains. I mean, how am I supposed to compete with that, man? But well, yeah, we see the next set of bans coming out from both sides. Ember Spirit, as you were talking about, being banned out, plus the Spectre being banned out from the side of Squirtle Squad. No Leshrac ban, maybe something that Reckoning can pick up. But what do you think about the matchup of Phantom Lancer versus the Naga Siren? Like 2 illusion-based cores, just going at it.
I've seen that matchup before. The good thing about that matchup for the Naga Siren is that in terms of raw stats alone, you're actually slightly beefier than the Phantom Lancer.
And the Riptide helps you anyway, right?
Yeah, the Riptide helps you a lot in clearing the illusions, and on top of that, you have a net. So the Phantom Lancer, if he messes up and he uses his Manta style or his dissimilate?
Doppelganger?
Doppelganger, right? Sorry, all these W skills confusing me. If he uses Doppelganger recklessly and he gets netted, he dies straight away, straight up against that Naga Siren. So Phantom Lancer, you know, he has to play very, very carefully. The same caution doesn't have to be exercised by the Naga Siren, but as a whole, it takes very long for both of those two heroes to kill each other. So it's definitely a question of the supporting cast. Like I said, Squirtle Squad, they did ban out that Ember Spirit pretty much as expected. They also take out that Spectre. PL against Spectre, of course, Spectre has a decent lineup there. He can't really kill the PL directly, but Dispersion will do a great job of it. And on top of that, he always picks up that Radiance, so always a very good pick against the Phantom Lancer. Don't want to deal with that Sleepy Boisz, will take it out. Reckoning Esports, on their end, don't want to have to face Moon's Queen of Pain again. It's just too lethal. They take it out, and they take out the Kunkka as well. Now that's an interesting ban.
Yeah, we have seen that Krish plays a really mean Kunkka in the mid lane, so they don't want anything of it. And they also banned the Ursa on the side of Squirtle Squad, picking a Winter Wyvern for themselves. I think Winter Wyvern is a solid pick, really good against the Nature's Prophet, pretty strong in the lane as well. You can just use the Splinter Blast to harass the enemy core and offers a lot of team fight in general.
5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it also helps to dissuade any sort of death balling. It's one of the strengths of this Winter Wyvern hero. Gives you a bit of D-push as well against the Nature's Prophet summons, against the high ground in case you are being pushed on your T3 tower. But it does also mean that their 2 supports don't really put out a lot of damage. You have the Earthshaker and the Winter Wyvern thus far, and your Phantom Lancer not exactly known for its burst damage potential, so I expect to see them pick up something like that ASAP. Reckoning Esports, now that's a hero with damage Lich, with the Lich ultimate, with that Frost Blast, and with the shield, of course, that can always come in very handy against that Phantom Lancer. I love this pick from Reckoning Esports.
Yeah, I think Lich is one kind of a hero that allows you to do really well in lane. Even if you don't have a really strong lane, Lich can help you snowball and just come out on top.
And one of the great things about Lich as well is that it provides you with AoE lockdown should you get that Aghanim Scepter. So in the ultra late game, if for some reason they can't deal with this Phantom Lancer, but they haven't you know, cleared out the game yet, they should be able to get that Aghanim Scepter on the Lich and use that Sinister Gaze to just hold him down every single time. It's basically a black hole. Squirtle Squad, they have choices for this fourth pick. It's probably going to be 2 cores, but they can always run that Earthshaker as a core, so never count that possibility out. What would you like in this situation?
I think they need something that can jump the backlines. We see a lot of teamfight coming out from the side of Squirtle Squad. Something along the lines of a Void Spirit. They go for the Timber. I mean, they have banned the Ursa out, so Timber is a solid pick. I like it. It can reach the backlines. It can harass the Lich out of the lane. It can also mess with the Tiny. And Reckoning is going to reply to the Timber pick with the Slark. We saw that Negi has played this matchup in this tournament. He played it against Ronin Esports, if I'm not wrong, where Negi just bodied the Slark in that lane. I assume that Killua brings a little better in terms of skill level, so that's going to be something that Negi has to look out for.
Yeah, I've had my own fair share of experiences in that matchup, and it's one of those matchups that can go either way. As a slot, if you get those early kills on this Timbersaw, you can't really stand up to the Essence Shift anymore on the Timbersaw. It's just way too much damage, so you have to back off even with that extra armor. But the problem is, if Timbersaw gets off to a good lead, he just has too much levels of that reactive armor. He actually just harasses you out with that Q, and Slug, of course, you don't deal well with sustained damage until you get your level 6, so you could be in a situation where you're level 4, you're kind of solo in the lane, you're half HP constantly against this Timbersaw, and it's just not easy to CS in that situation. So Squirtle Squad, they did ban out that Leshrac as well. I continue to be one of the top Dota minds around. Hashtag please hire me, BTS. Last pick there by Reckoning Esports. What's it going to be? It's going to be their mid hero, I think.
Yeah, and talking about Squirtle Squad, they have picked this lane combo, the Winter Wyvern and Timbersaw in the off lane. Might be the Earthshaker and Timbersaw, but in this tournament they have run the Winter Wyvern together with the Timbersaw, and they have seemed to be coming out on top of any kind of lane that they have seen. So yeah, I mean, like, the Winter Wyvern can dish out a lot of damage in lane. Slark is not gonna have a fun time, and Reckoning is gonna pick up the Void Spirit for themselves. Will allow some kind of mobility to reach the backline and control the Winter Wyvern in team fights.
Yeah, and this hero actually deals very well with Phantom Lancer. You have 2 slashes to get to him, and on top of that, when you get that Aghanim Scepter, your Resonant Pulse silences, and you get 2 of them. So not only can you clear out the illusions very quickly, you can also catch him off guard, silence him, and then suddenly he's forced into a difficult situation where I have to Manta recklessly on the Phantom Lancer, and then I get silenced immediately again. It's tricky.
Okay, Storm Spirit. I like that pickup, but still, I think I like Reckoning's draft a little bit more. They have some kind of burst coming out from Luffy. If he has a good game on the position 4 Tiny, if he's able to get the runes for Swifty, then Moon might not have a good game in this matchup. They have to, the way to shut down or to come on top of this game is by shutting down Moon.
Yeah, it is the mid lane matchup, Storm Spirit against Void Spirit. This is actually a bit tough for the Void Spirit. You take a lot of damage from that Overload, and as a whole, just tricky in general. You can't really dive him under the tower. He can always respond with a Remnant into a pull. So this should be okay for Moon. It should be okay for Swifty as well. But the question will come, who hits level 6 first? And once you hit level 6, even with the level 6, it's not a definite kill. It's definitely coming down to execution. If you zip properly, if you slash properly using that Void Spirit, as a whole, it's a bit risky to go into an elimination match depending on the skill level of your mid lane, but if they are comfortable with this, they will have a very strong lineup to deal with that Phantom Lancer.
And that is true. We're gonna dive right into the game. Game number 2 of the lower bracket lower bracket final between Reckoning Esports and Squirtle Squad.
Yeah, and what just happened indeed? A refresher for our audience in Game 1. It was pretty much Sleepy Boys with their Queen of Pain, Lycan, Ursa trio. They just bulldozed down the Drow Ranger Tidehunter lineup from the side of Reckoning Esports. It was a very old sort of strategy coming out of Reckoning, and because of that, I think it was exploited by the more modern high damage, high mobility cores. So you see Reckoning going back to this sort of traditional lineup right now.
Yeah, I mean, they go back for something that has worked out in patch 7.26. I'm pretty sure it's still kind of viable in 7.27. The meta hasn't set in yet because the patch literally just got dropped in a couple of hours back, right? So both the teams just gonna try out, experiment a little bit here and there, and try to just wing it.
Try to just wing it. We're going to see wards being placed down already.
Are you looking at the all chat? They say Lich 2020 Lich coming out from Crawley.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you can be playing Dota in 2010, you can be playing Dota in 2013, 2020. Lich is always going to be a viable support. It's just too strong.
Yeah, I remember the time when you could just sacrifice your own creep and just grief the enemy core. There'd be some kind of experience loss, and yeah. But I like the new Lich. I mean, remember Lich used to sacrifice its own creep. They would sacrifice the range creep, and that would just mean some kind of experience loss for the enemy cores.
Yeah, and that was also the time where lane control, you always wanted a lane right in front of your tower. So the fact that you killed off your range creep means that you keep lane equilibrium very, very well. But we'll see what that means in the modern game. Summoning the Treants already, 4 Treants up here for the side of Crawley. Going to be able to just clap Blizzard and Parasite with them if they step into range. But he's taking a lot of damage already from the Phantom Lance and that Arctic. But tossing him back in. Parasite taking quite a bit of damage here with the block. They did get the block on the Treant though, and that's a bit unfortunate because if they got it, that was a kill.
Yeah, I'm looking at the mid lane matchup. As you were talking about, Moon, of course, might be the one who's coming out on top, but Swifty, I think he's played this matchup time and time again, right? He knows how to deal with the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, this matchup is almost entirely skill based. Whoever lands their remnants will win, and that applies for both the Storm Spirit and the Void Spirit, because Aether Remnant, tricky to land. You already see the first remnant being whiffed there by Swifty. If you get it onto Moon, he takes a lot of harass from the creeps slash the tower, but vice versa, you know, if you put a good remnant down, Swifty can't actually contest your last hits, and you possibly deal some clap damage to him with the overload, with the additional magic damage. Down at bot lane, it's Earthshaker and Timbersaw up against Slark and Lich. This is possibly going to be the more passive lane out of the three, but we'll see how things go. Already, Negi forced to skill the Timber Chain.
Yeah, so which lane do you think we're gonna see the first blood coming out from?
I think if Moon is really ballsy like Sumail, it's the mid lane, but otherwise it's probably going to be that top lane where there's always a toss option, there's always the possibility of Nature's Prophet just stepping a little bit too far out against that Splinter Blast and Arctic Wind.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna also come down to the first rune. Luffy and No Chance will be looking to rotate for the first rune and pick that up. It's gonna help their mid laners out to get the lead.
Yeah. So far, both the safe laners pretty much neck and neck, 12 CS on each of them.
Swifty falling a little bit low, body blocks come out from Moon, but I think he's going to be fine. Moon has some kind of an XP advantage, hits level 4 a little bit faster than Swifty, but I think he's going to get it now with the last hit on the range creep.
Yeah, it's a difference of 1 Dina, it looks like, so not really a major difference until that 4-minute mark. That's when the biggest difference comes about. Whoever gets the 4-minute mark gets a refill on that bottle, and more importantly, a power rune to do whatever they want with. Swifty taking a lot of rest. He's going to eat another remnant to the face. He's not enjoying this at all, but Moon being pulled into the tower.
Yeah, I think just trading. But Moon already has his bottle out, and Swifty is gonna get it now. So in terms of region battle, Swifty is coming out on top. He's gonna have a full bottle, and we miss first blood.
That should not be happening. You should be relatively safe as a Lich in this bot lane.
I mean, yeah, he dies under his own tower.
He did skill the Sinister Gaze as well instead of the Frost Shield at level 2. That might have contributed, actually.
Yeah, I think they would have probably wanted to get a kill, but did backfire from them. In the top lane, we see going on Crawley, forcing out the TP from him. He's gonna take it to safety.
Not a huge deal. You do have the teleport to get back. The problem comes is if you die when you TP back and your actual TP is not off cooldown, that's when you just lose out on a trillion experience.
Moon gets his region rune. That's gonna be rough for Swifty.
Yeah, they played it well too. They even brought the Tiny over for the rune contest, but just luck, I suppose. Moon gonna just man up on Swifty there, and Swifty has to be careful because once Moon hits level 6, he can make the greedy play of just going in for a kill with that regeneration.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna hit the jungle. He's just gonna use it to farm, and there's gonna be Parasite or No Chance is gonna just plant themselves mid, take all the XP, and then Moon is just gonna show up in one lane and take a kill. We see Crowley plummeting into Blizzard, giving out a lot of damage. Already down to 50% HP. Luffy is looking for a toss combo. Can he reach?
Yeah, here's Phantom Rush. Oh, very nice Phantom Rush onto the creep there. They thought it was onto Popis, but it's not. The toss is back there. Onto Parasite though. Parasite in a lot of trouble. Parasite will go down here. There's no way he gets out of this one. Oh, maybe with the stick. They couldn't get the last hit of damage in because he didn't expect the stick. And now they're going to run in through the trees. They will summon another bunch of trees. And Parasite, you can't get out of this one anymore. It was a possibility there, but once he ran into the trees, that is a little bit too far. Luffy's still looking for the toss back onto Blizzard, but Blizzard will juke it out with those doppelganger illusions.
That was a really good play coming out from Blizzard. Realizes that he will die to the combo and the right clicks or the Nature's Prophet. Smartly gets away. In the bottom lane, we see Killua has picked up his level 5, and we see Negi diving him, but he's gonna be fine. Killua has taken 1 kill in this lane. Did we miss that too?
No, Killua is 0-0.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had Timbersaw pick. My bad, my bad.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, how many kills are we missing?
We've only missed 1 kill.
Yeah,
There's only been 2 kills in this game.
Yeah, okay, toss back from Luffy. But now they're going
and
on.
somebody is going to die here. I'm just not sure what. It's probably going to be a Nature's Prophet there. He has the stick though, so that might get him out too. Safety there. They will turn into Luffy. Yeah, no stick on Luffy, so easier kill there.
Hit Parasite
Oh no,
now.
Parasite, he's gonna die! Actually no, he actually skills up the Cold Embrace, so that will keep him alive, heal him up, take a little bit more damage from those treants, but he doesn't get the Treant block once again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's been doing that a lot.
He should be able to, it's...
Yeah, pardon me for that. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any kind of blocks coming out from Crawley this game. Maybe not comfortable with the hero. He realizes that he might just mess it up, so he just sticks to his right clicking. As we were speaking, that Luffy just gets the combo off on Parasite. Okay, Moon gets another rune. I think Moon has always been lucky with the runes. Yesterday also we saw that he picked up the first 3 runes. Swifty is gonna be lamenting his own fate. I hope some kind of TP comes in and from the base and someone can refill his bottle.
Yeah, it's very important that Swifty gets a hit because he's their way of just ganking. They do have other methods as well. They do have the Nature's Prophet TP, but as a whole, Void Spirit, you know, Void Spirit is one of those heroes that if he's not having a good game, the team is not having a good game. It's like that. You can be behind on Queen of Pain, you can be behind on Storm Spirit, but on Void Spirit, no.
Okay, I'm looking at top lane.
Storm zipping in, yeah, onto Luffy. Going to get the pullback with the Arcane Rune. It's very going to wear off, but Luffy gets a toss combo out. He won't really survive this, I don't think. Yeah, he doesn't. Parasite though, taking a lot of that. Use the treants to block.
Killua's here.
He doesn't use the treants to block, but
Swifty is
Killua's here.
here.
Yeah, picking up that kill, jumping forward onto Blizzard there. Swifty gets on the board with the Astro Step.
Yeah, this is gonna make some space for No Chance, but I think that this is gonna be a good thing for Reckoning. I mean, they realized that last match they didn't do much in the early game. Killua seems to be looking to come active early on, picks up the first agility stack, permanent agility stack, and they're gonna put some pressure on the top lane. I really like this from Reckoning. They realized that they didn't do much in the last game. They need to be the one who's asserting dominance, asserting pressure in this matchup. And we see Luffy, he just comes in, refills the bottle for Swifty. Swifty's gonna be happy with that.
I wonder what they're gonna build where Dyer's top tower used to be.
Good, he needed something to go his way. They did move the support down there for the first rune contest, it's just that they got unlucky with it. So now that he has the bottle refill, he can stand toe to toe with Moon. They're TPing in the mid lane, oh, forcing out a zip there. Moon. Defensive zip. Didn't know that Luffy was standing around the corner, but didn't have to know.
Yeah, I think Blizzard has moved himself in the bottom lane, realizes that he can no longer go top, just mirroring the movements of Killua on the other side of the map. And we see Negi moving towards the mid, taking away some stacks.
Interesting that Killua decides to opt for the Blitz Knuckles first. He is building, of course, the new Shadow Blade, Blitz Knuckle, Shadow Amulet, and the Broadsworder. Attack speed more important than Broadsword, he thinks. Maybe that is the case. I'm not really sure. I haven't done the math myself. Gives you more Essence Shift, especially against that Cold Embrace. So who knows?
Yeah, and I think he wants to build into a
Silver Edge against that Timbersaw, most
why don't
likely.
you
And
go into the
yeah, this is a good smoke right there. They're gonna come onto Blizzard. Blizzard cannot escape. Luffy with the combo. He has no doppelganger. It's on cooldown.
Yeah, that was a good play. That was a good smoke. They realized that PL is playing around this position. He's gonna farm up this part of the map, and they get a kill, forcing out some kind of reaction from the side of Squad Squad as well. But I'm looking at the side of Reckoning. The supports are very low level. On the side of Squad Squad, Parasite has already picked up his ultimate, and No Chance too. But Object is level 4, and so is Luffy. I think Luffy picks up the Tome of Knowledge. That's gonna help him just hit level 6. But Object needs some help. He really needs his ultimate. The early Chain Frost can be influential in a team fight.
Yeah, if you even get 2 bounces there, it's 500 damage. Just 2 bounces. You know, it's a lot of damage. It's one of the highest damaging ultis in the game if you cast it when there's no creeps around, of course. He's going to get some help here from Swifty clearing out the stack. He's just kind of standing there, soaking up the extra experience.
Yeah,
and meanwhile, Killua, he's brood mothering in the top lane. He's never going to leave. He's staying right here. Oh, they go over the Winter Scars onto him. Parasite thinks that he's setting up a kill for Moon Moon. He is, and that's beautifully executed.
Oh.
He gets out. No, he doesn't.
I think he should have bounced away. Thought that he's gonna get safely TP out, but Overload just gets him. It was good heads up play by Moon. Realizes that he can do some AoE damage rather than some single DPS.
Yeah, and the Parasite, you know, I bet when the starting of that, Killua was like, what is happening? I'm not really sure. Well, that's what's happening. It's beautifully executed right at the tail end of that Winter Curse. Swoops in on that Storm Trade, pulls him out.
He just vanishes in the bottom lane. The combo coming out, the toss combo with the Resonant Pulse and the Astral Step, followed up with the Nether Remnant. He just went from 0 to 100 to 0 really soon. Is No Chance gonna fall? He used the Wrath of Nature. I think Wrath of Nature also helped for the kill on the Timbersaw. You see Luffy scouting out Blizzard. Blizzard doesn't seem to be too happy. He's getting burst down by the side of Reckoning Esports. I mean, one combo.
And the bigger question is his CS. He has 61 CS. Okay in a pub, but compared to the other cores in the game who are all around the 80-90 mark.
I mean, I would like to ask you, which pub are you playing? If I had 61 CS at level minute in a pub, I would get flamed on so hard, and that would just grief me. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't think you're playing SEA more quite often these days, Yova.
We play around the same MMR bracket, you know, we're both divide. Why are you gonna do me like that?
Yeah, okay, we see a smoke come outside from the side of Reckoning Esport. Object still doesn't have his ultimate. They're baiting Luffy out. They know that they're a little more stronger at this point of time.
Oh my goodness, that is another brutal kill. Moon Moon zipping all the way out, catches Killua. Killua is so important to this game. If Killua does not pop off...
Yeah, I mean, Indian Sumail, Indian King, he proves himself why, at least you call him that.
I call him that. No one else calls him that. I'm pretty sure someone else calls him that. There's no way.
Okay, we can establish if he does that again, we can establish that he is the Indian Sumail.
Yeah, hopefully he is. I want to see some action in this game. But Parasite, he's taking a look at Luffy. Luffy may be forcing the issue too much. Yeah, he's just gonna be zipped on by Moon Moon. I don't think there's an easy way out for Luffy. They actually leave him alone. Luffy?
Huh?
Moon.
Okay.
What? Luffy's gonna escape? Oh my goodness! And now
No
they're gonna collapse onto No Chance, zipping in with the Astral Step. Luffy's still taunting them. Luffy, what the heck? He goes to the Avalanche. He interrupts them. Luffy, you're absolutely insane. You gotta leash out onto Moon Moon. Moon Moon's going to die. Luffy!
Oh my god, Luffy's just baiting the side of Squirtle Squad. They pick up 4 kills on the side of Reckoning Esport, and that's gonna culminate into a tier 1 tower. Luffy's just playing with their feelings, playing with their hearts. And we see Swifty just controlling the back line.
That is mechanical talent right there, ladies and gentlemen. He knew the limits of his hero, and he pushed them to the utmost. absolutely exposed there. Sleepy Boisz, they feed over 4, and now the net worth lead 2k. Killua chasing it for more. They miss on the pounce. This is a little bit risky. You have to get out, Killua. Yeah, he has to get out.
Abort.
Oh no,
get away.
He's in trouble. Oh, Echo Step. What's it onto? It's onto Void Raid. Void Raid, no Astro Step, but 3 seconds has the haste room. We're going to run out to safety a little bit low, but A-okay. Oh, zipping in onto Object. Moon. If this is the only kill they pick up, it's fine for the step of it's fine for the side of Reckoning because they were overextending there for sure.
Okay, I see Moon has picked up himself a point booster, not going for any kind of dispel, and we see that Crawley has already picked up his Orchid. Do you think he's going to change up his build, or he's going to go ahead with a Bloodstone and then to some other kind of an item?
I think you have to change it up. If you don't change it up, you know, you're at risk from so many of the heroes in this game. Void Spirit will get on top of you with that Nature's Prophet keeping in. Tiny can burst you down when you're orchided. It's just very difficult to play this game if you're constantly silenced. But we'll see if Moon, you know,
is the real
to
king,
more cautious,
right?
You know?
We're gonna find out if he's the real king of Indian Dota. Punks are never satisfied, but let's see if he can satisfy his team with his build. Killua has picked himself the Shadowblade, is gonna go for the Echo Saber. I think the new changes to Silver Edge really favors all Slug players, right? They're gonna be pretty happy about the changes to the item.
Yeah, it used to be that you couldn't pick up the Silver Edge, sorry, not the Silver Edge. You couldn't pick up the Echo Saber anymore because it was just too inefficient. But now the fact that they built together into that Silver Edge, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Blizzard. He still hasn't picked up his first item. Still 150 gold away from his Diffusal Blade. Do you think he's gonna get become active after he picks that item up, or he still needs a couple of items?
I think he still has to farm. He needs at least that Manta style before he can start joining these fights.
He's
just
go on
so
Negi.
squishy. They're gonna dive up onto Negi. Can they get the Orchid out? They do. Killua and Lavi, every single person.
TP's coming out.
They're gonna be able to kill him off, but double TP coming in. Parasite. Moon just cancels his TP though. They don't know that he's alone, but they might possibly guess.
Yeah, I mean, they should not be afraid, right? They have all their ults up. They use the Wrath of Nature, but they have Shadow Dance, they have Lich ult. Parasite is just gonna move away. Parasite is level 10 on his support position 5 Winter Wyvern.
And he's been taking a lot of farm with these Splinter Blasts and all that, and on top of that, he's been close by with those kills on Killua, so it's important, sorry, not important, it's natural that he's pretty high level and it's great for him. But the one of the things that they also have to look out for, aside Reckoning Esports, is that the Blink Dagger is now up on this Earthshaker. So possibly the reason why they didn't want to push End Mask when they saw the TP, so that they weren't sure if Earthshaker was TPing in with a Blink Echo.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the network chart. I'm really sorry. This match has been really exciting, and I'm just making blunders left, right, and center. We see Shadowblade did Slug. Gonna move towards Parasite.
This is a pub. This is a pub for these guys. Take a look. They're just diving in behind the T2 tower.
Yeah, I think Reckoning's coach AB was like, guys, too much strategy. Just go out there and have fun. Play like this is a pub match. Try to stomp your opponents. And that's what we see that's happening, right? In the bottom lane, we see that Moon is gonna push out the wave. He's baiting some kind of rotation from the side of Reckoning Esports. No chance right behind him with the Blink Echo.
This is not something that we see commonly, by the way. Not the split push movement, rather, but the mechanism on the Timbersaw. It's a very interesting choice. Of course, you understand why he does it. They need a little bit of defensive presence, they need some auras, but usually you would go for the pipe. In this situation, though,
a pipe into a Lotus would have been much better because he can use the Lotus on the Storm Spirit. But Negi has other plans. Negi is selfish. He's like, I want to dispel myself. But of course, he does provide the mech buff to his teammates. But yeah, I think Reckoning is happy with what's happening right now. They know that they are in control of the match right now. Bloodstone being picked up on the side of Storm Spirit. They realize that he has no defensive item.
Forward onto Object. Object gets the Glimmer Cape off though. They don't see him just yet. Parasite looking for a Winter's Curse, but he won't get a clear opportunity right there. Oh, that's gonna be a decent Lich ulti, but it only
he's gonna get echoed.
But the Nature Prophet ulti coming in. Swifty may be in trouble. He has no more Aether Remnant, has no more Astral Step, rather. Gets the Aether Remnant off. Can he survive this? He gets actually the E. They don't actually get the kill on the Swifty, and now Boisz in a lot of trouble. Crawley, can he get the kill? Timbersaw, he's gonna take down though. He does go down. They're so close to dying on the side of Reckoning, but they do not fall. and that's a 1 for 3. Meanwhile, in the entire fight, PL just vanishes.
Yeah, the PL with his diffusal blade couldn't do much. We saw that the echo was used on only on the Void Spirit, and he did not fall. He had the vessel healing up, and that was a really good fight coming out from the side of Reckoning. They didn't have any vision.
They didn't have any vision.
I don't see any
Neither did
vision.
the side of Sleepy Boys. They didn't put down the sentry when Object first walked in with the Glimmer Cape, and that might have cost them big because that Lich Out forced them to split. And the moment they split, that's when the Nature's Prophet and the Slug just pounce on everybody.
Yeah, I think good ability targeting by the side of Reckoning. They realize that Parasite can turn the fight around.
They see Killua, they know he's there. Can they stop him though? They have no echoes left. All they have is this Winters because they're zipping it.
Oh,
No.
no.
Killua, you've overextended! Oh no, now everything's gonna fall apart for the side of Reckoning Esports. You stepped out one time too far. He had the Shadow Dance, just couldn't pop it.
Yeah, 3-2 coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Okay, I'm not gonna call it a 3-2. Just, you know, getting a little too excited, I guess. They took a good fight and they thought that they can continue to do that again and again. Killua way like deep into the dire side, gets surrounded by all of Squirtle Squad and dies.
He knew that they saw him too because of the Shadow Dance. He had to know that the Shadow Dance had worn off. All of them was seeing him under that sentry one.
Yep. And we see that the Greaves has been picked up by Negi now. That's gonna allow him to dispel the Vessel. Yeah, I think that's the only thing that he has to dispel in this matchup, right? I mean, Void Spirit is close to his Aghanim. Okay, no, he still is quite a way off from it.
He's not very fat on the side of the Void Spirit, still doing decently, but the Phantom Lens has started to out-farm him now, and whether or not he can get it at a good time. Oh, that's a Winter's Curse. What's it onto? It's onto Killua. Killua, who still has the Shadow Dance, and they're not going to lock him down actually. So Parasite in a lot of trouble. Can Killua get the pounce here? He's trying to line it up perfectly. He does get
Swifty
it.
chasing Moon gets his TP
He has no
cancelled.
more mana. He does have TP, yeah, they know it. Oh, actually, can they get him though? Not
no.
with the Greaves, I don't think. Yeah, he will get the zip off thanks to the Greaves, and the Aether Remnant barely too short there.
Yeah, in the same time we saw, in the meanwhile we saw Parasite falling to Killua. Killua has 8 permanent agility. That's something that Squirtle Squad have to be careful about, not giving away too many stacks.
They'll give away a ward now because Killua did just walk past it. Should be able to tell his team where it is and deward it
Yeah,
quickly.
we see that the pings come out from Killua. Yeah, I think they're gonna take the tier 2. They have a really good ward on the high ground that's gonna see any kind of movement in this area. And yeah, Reckoning is doing what they're supposed to do, right? They're taking control of the map. They realize that Blizzard wants to be here. He wants to farm the Ancient. They're not gonna allow Squirtle Squad to do that. And Blizzard is forced to go to the top lane, somewhere where he can get out of position.
That being said, he is catching up though on the Phantom Lancer. He's very, very close, in fact, to the Nature's Prophet and Slug. Just 300 gold behind both of them. So at some point, this PL is going to be a problem. And Reckoning Esports, I'm not sure if they've itemized enough to deal with that. They do have the Aghanim Scepter coming up for the Void Spirit, and that should help a lot, along with the Blink Dagger on the Tiny. The combo will help a lot. Yeah, that's going to be a smoke onto the Timber. So what's he zipping forward onto? It's onto this Lich Object. In a lot of trouble there. Does he drop the ultimate? He doesn't. He will take down 2 that Chakram over time, but that's a smoke rotation, and it only gets Object once again. So you're still fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, expending a smoke for a position 5, Squirtle Squad not going to be too happy about it. We see Crawley has picked himself a Pipe of Insight on the Nature's Prophet. That's going to negate some kind of magical damage coming out from the side of the Sleepy Boys.
Yeah, and the Yo Scepter is there for the Storm Spirit. That's going to be the bigger pickup, I think. Bloodstone, 17 charges. That's the good thing about picking off that Lich. I suppose he's zipping full. Bit of an aggressive zip there. He is backed up by the rest of the team. Maybe this is the biggest bait of all time. They see him. Oh, Killua maybe in trouble. Yeah, just get the knockback off.
Okay, they don't see him on the cliff.
TP out on Moon.
Yeah, if he gets caught out there, that would have been a disaster. They were having like Object was respawning, and with the Glimmer Cape he could have negated most of the damage coming out from in the side of Squirtle Squad. And
They smoke.
Yeah.
This is an aggressive movement here. from Reckoning, and one that will define the game, especially because they know that these heroes have no easy ways out. They all TP to get... Oh, Moon, you're in trouble! Oh, they don't get the pounce off! Killua hesitating! He actually went for the greedy play. He tried to hit once, and that might cost them the huge kill. If Moon started the fight dead, Earthshake is going to start the fight dead though. That's a good Winter's Curse. What's it onto? It's actually onto this Boisz, who isn't really taking that much damage. Nature's Prophet is going to be taken down by every single thing. The Chakram was on him. Killua waiting in the Parasite. He finally takes him down. He wants the Shadow Dance on top of that, so he might not want to keep on fighting. Already used the Shadow Dance, using the Shadow Blade now, trying to run away. They still in range of the Shadow Blade, of the detection rather, and now, oh, they have to bring her onto Stormtrade, but the Euro Scepter, he's safe.
Dude, why did Swifty just leave? Why did he leave his team? I know you were like low on mana, but he could have done some kind of damage. Killua could have done so much more if he had some kind of backing from Swifty there. I mean, you saw that when he started right-clicking the the Storm Spirit in the last engagement, they could have combined their powers to take Moon down.
And that was not a good TP by the Nature's Prophet. He TP'd and instantly 4 heroes are on him. He just dies without getting any sort of spell off apart from that Orc and Benevolence.
And that was a fight without No Chance expending his Echo Slam.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now this Storm seems to be going out of control. They have no way of locking him down once he uses his Evil Scepter. Now the match has turned tilted towards the favor of the squad or Sleepy Boys. Would you agree with that?
I would say so, and we have to remember that was starting off a mistake by Killua. He didn't choose to pound from Shadow Blade. They didn't see him. He could have pounded from Shadow Blade, but he didn't.
Chooses to get extra damage off from the...
And that punishes him along with how they're punishing Swifty in this mid lane. Nah, he's out. They did have the Clumsy Net and the Yo Scepter available, but it was tricky to just line it up properly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Now I think it just boils down to teamfight execution from both sides. We see Sleepy Boys really want to take control of this Radiant jungle. Of course, there is no Ancient camp here right now, so controlling this part. Killua breaks his smoke. The rest of Reckoning is smoked up. If they can catch No Chance again in the beginning of the fight, that's gonna go a long way for their team fight.
Ooh, they're dropping Sentry. They know. Oh, they dropped the Observer on the high ground, but it doesn't matter because the Aghanim Scepter is there for Swifty. Can they get Negi as well? Parasite will start the fight dead. They might be able to get Negi here. They will. He's still pretty much full on HP. They don't have further lockdown for him though. Where is the Slug and all of that? He's going on to No Chance, trying to force out that Echo Stem or at least kill him. Yeah, No Chance is going to fall. Zipping in. Absolutely across the map. No mana on Moon Moon. Maybe a big mismanagement here. This PL, he's bailing into every single person. He's half HP, pops the Essence Trick. And blink out! Luffy! He managed to blink out with the Yo Scepter combo. And there's not a great Winter's Curse. Luffy runs in to deal extra damage to his own ally, but it's A-okay because Swifty has to dissimulate. He's still chasing for more, trying to get Parasite, who did buy back for this fight. And now, what's going on? Killua diving in deep, trying to rejoin the rest of the fray, where they're isolating Parasite once again. Parasite will die. He's trying to see if he can get Negi here. Negi has the TP, but Killua is on the case. Run him down. Can he get him? He's trying. He gets it. He gets the pound here, but that won't be enough damage. Negi should be able to just start keeping right now. Knows that there is no more pound.
Okay,
Luffy is here trying to get combination plays. Yeah, combinatorics.
That was really well done by the side of Reckoning Esports. They lost the object there. He buys back. He realizes that Crawley is getting down.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I think he just got caught out of position by a fissure.
Yeah. It is still a one fight for the side of Reckoning though. Not a huge margin of victory, considering that the object had to buy back and they still lose their Nature Prophet.
Yeah, I have the win probability pulled up, and it's 56% towards the side of Radiant. Still a pretty much neck-to-neck match. They're moving towards the Roshan pit.
I have my questions about whether Killua is going to be able to deal with Fat Phantom Lancer. Slug, it's able to deal with the Phantom Lancer. You can isolate him because you can tell which one is the real one based on who you're hitting for the Essence Shift. But do you have enough damage and sustain to chase this Phantom Lancer, who pretty much stays alive for what, 30 seconds, 40 seconds?
Yeah, he's gonna pick himself an Abyssal Blade soon, and once he picks that up, Object or Crawley are not gonna have a good game. They're just gonna get burst down. They're gonna lose all their mana before the engagement breaks off. We see Moon zips in. In that fight, I think he zipped in. He didn't have much mana, That was kind of a mistake. He was hoping to blow up Killua there. We see another smoke coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. Swifty leading the charge. Is going to be looking for the support or the backline for. He scouts out Peggy. Okay, he's gonna.
Ooh, they see Parasite. Yeah, going to silence him up into the Aether Remnant. That's an easy kill. That's
no
an easy
chance,
kill.
gives
Yeah,
away
it
his
is.
position
And now
and
forced
dies.
up into the out of position. Yeah, no chance.
Oh,
In a
gets
lot
the
of trouble.
fear off.
Negi, they get the sun onto him. Jumping onto him. The Sinister Gaze. He couldn't resist it. Into the Aether Remnant with the Yos combo. Stabbing him up with the Essence Chip. This fish will hurt you.
And Killua Silver Edges is gonna go and look for Moon now, or they're gonna just head into the Roshan pit. They realize that no buyback on the side of Parasite and no buyback on the side of even Negi. Can they take this soon? Can they take it fast enough? Although
They do have the possible zip from Moon. I think Moon is
that's gonna be hype.
option.
I mean, if he gets the Aegis, takes away the Aegis from the hands of probably Killua, it's gonna be massive.
Yeah, Sumail would do it. Sumail would do it. But
Okay.
he's only the Indian Sumail. Doesn't make that play.
Fake Sumail or discount Sumail. But let's see, he has been playing pretty well, Storm Spirit, throughout the tournament. He picks himself a Gem of True Sight. Yeah, I guess it's okay. They really want to see the vision game. Even Killua just being slippery with his silver edge. But if he dies once, he's gonna give away the gem to the side of Reckoning Esports. Dude, I think Killua has some personal vendetta against Parasite. I mean, as soon as Parasite respawns, he just Shadow Blades into looking for him.
I don't think it's personal. I think this is just the mind of a slog player, you know? You're a slog player, you don't really think. You just see, oh, I see 5 position hero, I run at him. That's the name of the game when you play slog. There's no real thinking required, and Killua tried to pounce on the Moon, but the gem made sure that Moon was aware. He's just absolutely crazy. No chance! What was that blink? It was a 1 centimeter blink!
What just happened? And a Winter's Curse on the 2 heroes.
Toss
Gets
back. Winter Wyvern, Parasite, it's time to die!
He gets another agility, and I think this is.
Object? What? Object?
Oh yeah, he wants to push out the wave. I think there's some kind of excitement in the Reckoning team. We see a lot of plays being made. They're playing hyper aggressive. They didn't do this in the first game, and now their revenge is. They smell revenge. They really want to go ahead and capitalize on that.
Yeah, they're taking, you know, the words too hard. You know, just press buttons.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing right now. Don't think, press buttons. And it's beautiful to watch. One thing we have to look out for though, this Aghanim Scepter is up on that Storm Spirit. He's looking for an absolutely huge pull. With that amateur black hole, he might be able to get a huge ankle slam off. No, on 50. Frost Blast being thrown out, silenced up on this Phantom Lance, and the Essence Ring keeps him very healthy. No, Killua, you cannot man up against this, I think. He pops the BKB, maybe he will. He still has the Shadow Dance available. Swifty was alive throughout all of that. Both sides will disengage. But they'll be happier on the side of Sleepy Boys because they force out 2 BKBs.
Yeah, they do. But they still don't lose the Aegis.
Umpty Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. They're not gonna chase him.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Aghanim Scepter. Do you like the pickup on this? The mini black hole, as some would call.
Radiant's bottom
I do,
tower
because
is under
it sets up very well for your Winter's Curse / your Echo Slam.
Okay.
And it makes sure that
Swifty.
you always have to look out for the positioning. Yep.
Swifty's on top of
Going on to
Parasite.
Parasite. Parasite will fall. Oh no, he will not. He jumps on the high ground. And now Nature Prophet starting the fight. Can he get the kill onto Parasite? I don't think so. Yeah, Parasite will stay alive with that heal. So they will chase for more on the side of Sleepy Boys. They see Swifty. The Clumsy Net will catch him. He had no more spells available to dodge it. He now has 1 Ava step. Will he use it? He does. Still has Dissimulate available on that high ground. Safe out to safety. They lost the Nature Prophet and they lost Object. So Reckoning, they're bleeding.
Yeah, I think they don't want to fight into a slug. They don't want to overextend and lose many heroes. Swifty playing on the edge. I mean, like, you know, taking chances, diving behind the enemy line, controlling Parasite up. Parasite, did he fall in that?
He didn't. He barely survived there. Got the Cold Embrace off. Survived on about 100 HP.
Yeah, as we were talking about in the draft phase, right? Reckoning needs someone who can go and lock down this Winter Wyvern, and we see Swifty has been doing that time and time again. So yeah.
At some point though, he has to start watching out for his own safety. He almost gets punished there, Swifty, and they haven't been all that good at punishing the fact that the Moon makes this huge zips. He zips straight away onto the head of that Nature Prophet, just pops him immediately. Crowley did not respond well to that aggression.
Yep, and the Basher gets picked up by Killua.
But as he has the Basher, Blizzard has the Abyssal.
Yeah, but
We haven't talked about Blizzard for a very long time. He's 19k, 20k net worth. By far the net worth leader.
Yeah, I think they're trying to look for Crowley, and his smoke is gonna break. Crowley is in trouble. Would not get the chance to pop his BKB. And yeah, we see voice lines being spammed after every kill.
Now Reckoning is well and truly on the back foot. I think this is easily 30%, 70% in terms of win possibilities.
You're almost right, but the win probability is still on the side of Reckoning. 66% on the side of Reckoning Esports. I think Gaben does not agree with what you have to say about the Phantom Lancer. As we say, the Aegis gets reclaimed on Killua, and I think that it's going to be go time for Sleepy Boys. I don't see any smoke from them.
Gaben, you know, I don't doubt him. He probably knows best, open AI and all that magic, but I feel that Reckoning is just one overextension away from losing Rax, and once they lose Rax, they lose the Roshan as well.
Yeah, I think Reckoning needs to isolate fights. They cannot take 5-on-5 engagements where Blizzard is just hitting the back line. They really need to take fights where they can pick off Negi or they can pick off Storm Spirit before the fight and then claim some kind of objective after that. We see a smoke coming out from the side of Reckoning Esports. As I was talking about the pick off, right? They're looking for that. Swifty's gonna pick himself.
They have a haste rune on Swifty. That's actually very big. It allows him to keep up with Moon perhaps even through the zip. And there's an E-Blade on the Tiny. What?
Huh. I would have liked to see maybe a Lotus Orb from himself, but he realizes that he needs to be the one who bursts the Storm Spirit. He does not have any kind of defensive item except that Evil Scepter hasn't picked up the BKB, hasn't even queued the BKB. Is aiming to go for the Evil Scepter.
Yeah, we also have to remember that it allows him to save people from the Winter Wyverns because you just throw the E-Blade on them and they don't take any damage, so that is a very, very good thing. Killua? Not being scouted out, but he did get his ward de-warded by this gem remnant combo from the Storm Spirit. So will not walk up to that high ground, thinks better of it. 37 minutes in, T4 items starting to spawn. And this is really, really big because T4 items, you all know how powerful they can be. You get a Spell Prism, suddenly the game is on your end. You get a Timeless Relic, suddenly, wow, this Void Spirit silences for like half a second more, twice.
Yeah, we haven't seen a good Echo come out in this game, right? Like, we have seen only one Echo.
Yeah, and that's a huge disappointment, and why I was so happy to get that why I was so happy to get that Agnum Scepter on Moon because now it's gonna be much easier to set up that easy echo, right, with the AOE pull.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, whenever he's in Shadow Dance, he's gonna get pulled in too, right? That's something that we did not talk about. It is an AOE pull. It's not a single targeted pull, so if the slug is in Shadow Dance or not,
they see them, they see object, and we'll get this T1 power as well.
I mean, it's a hard game for Nature's Prophet, right? Ideally, he would want to be in the bottom lane, pushing out this way, but he knows that there is a Storm Spirit in the opponent. He can just zip through across the map and get a solo kill on him, or maybe just force out the BKB.
He's 25 Bloodstone charges.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, that's an illusion right there. Thought he was zipping onto the real Tiny. And waiting for that Roshan, it is going to spawn in 35 seconds.
I mean, I don't think any item is going to help them kill the Phantom Lancer, right? Their whole team fight has to revolve around the fact that they have to kill everyone except the Phantom Lancer and deal with him at the end of the team fight.
I agree with that, and it gets even harder because he just picked up that illusion escape. Oh boy.
And he has a Satanic too, man. This seems to be going from bad to worse. Reckoning Esports
Oh, they're jumping in onto Negi there. Negi maybe isolated, but that's still going to be a Winter's Curse and no chance trying to set up that kill. Gets a silencer onto Winter Wyvern. Not the best silence there, especially because Winter Wyvern already threw out the curse. Nature Prophet in a lot of trouble there. PL should be able to get that kill. Blizzard going to doppelganger forward, but no, he does the tree. Zipping forward. Maybe able to get the huge pull there onto these two heroes. Killua maybe in trouble there. He still has the BKB to be popped, but he already used the Shadow Dance. He is trying to get out of here alive. Pops the BKB, turning it onto Moonmoon, manning up. Where is this Phantom Lancer troll? All of this, he's working on the back line. Killua, you're overextending, you have to back off now. He's thinking about it, he's running back in, zipping forward onto that. Who is it? It's the Nature Prophet who dies back. This is going to be a dieback. If Nature Prophet dies here, he will. Yeah, Crawley, that's a mistake twice again.
Yeah, that was
Crawley. Error upon error. That was a mistake. The first time he TP'd in and he silenced the Winter Wyvern. The Winter Wyvern had long used his ulti. There was no reason to silence him.
Yeah, that was not a good fight. I mean, they smoked. They were the one who initiated that. A dieback on side of the Nature's Prophet. I mean, we saw that when he got controlled by the by the Storm Spirit. Pardon me. He just stood his ground. He realized that he's gonna die. Accepts his fate and just falls down.
Spell Prism on the side of the die.
Oh man. I mean, Moon has been really lucky in this tournament. Has been getting favorable rune pickups. Has been getting good items. Has the Minotaur Horn. Is gonna allow him to have some kind of dispel with the lesser avatar. That's
and you compare that to what the Radiant got, it's not good. They got the Leveler and they got the Witless Shackle.
Spam F in chat, boys. F in chat for Reckoning Esports.
Two of the poorer items in the game. They're going into the pit now, forcing out the Lich Frost bounce, and oh, that's actually a very, very nice bounce right there. But the Doppelganger is there. They did silence up this PL. They're going to try to focus him down. Blizzard, maybe isolated away from his team. Where is this Storm Spirit, by the way? He finally does zip in. What's it onto? It's onto Luffy on the Titan. He was looking for an opening, but Luffy will probably fall here. He is being isolated by the rest of his team, so no chance. Looking for an Echo Stem. He has the 4-star. Luffy will just take down all these illusions. Plus, Tidehunter, sorry, not Tidehunter, Storm Spirit on him. Object on the way out. Going to drop this PL once again. Killua re-entering the frame, trying to get off some Ashen 6 sets. That's Void Spirit being locked down by the Basher. He can jump out as one Astro Step. Can they interrupt his TP? He will not. He does need to fight. Nature's Prophet TP's in, bumps the BKB and dies. A good Winter's Curse onto this Slark. Slark is dead. Killua is dead. You can't escape from this, Killua, I don't think.
I don't think anyone is getting away. He has the electric vortex soon, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong. They're gonna take Aegis now. Blizzard already back in the Roshan pit. He's gonna clean up Aegis and 6k lead for the Squirtle boys. Looking grim for the side of Reckoning Esports.
And if you take a look at that net worth graph, there was 7.5k ahead on the side of Reckoning. Now they're 5k down, 8k down.
That dip in the net worth graph is this is gonna come back to haunt Reckoning Esports. Oof, where did it all go wrong for Reckoning Esports? They were in control of this match. They were ahead. Supposedly they gave Blizzard a lot of space to farm up his items, and then when a Phantom Lancer comes online, there is really nothing that you can do with these heroes, right? We were talking about that matchup, that carry versus carry matchup, and Slark does not do that well against Phantom Lancer.
I think for me it comes down to itemization. They didn't itemize a way to lock down the Storm, and they didn't itemize a way to take down the Phantom Lancer. So the question is, what exactly do your items do?
Yeah, I mean, the Storm didn't even pick up a BKB. He's still having a free game. They're just having a hard time locking him down.
There's no Hex. There's no Abyssal Blade. Now there is on that Slark, but it's a little bit too late.
Swifty gets caught out.
Blade up. He just dies straight away. Swifty vanishes from the face of the earth. Luffy also goes. I think vanishing with him are the hopes of Reckoning for staying in this tournament. They're going to go onto this Nature's Prophet. I've seen this time and time again. This Prophet, he's not been comfortable on this hero, even in the laning phase, without those blocks, without that accurate TP. He TP's in, silences the wrong heroes and just dies. Killua in a lot of trouble there, forced out into his shadow of his own base. Melee barracks go down. They are out on the side of Squad. They lose nothing. You get nothing. You die maybe, Swifty. This is a dieback. Do they get the pull though? Moon has no mana to pull. He still has the cheese. Can pop it at any point of time. BKB being used on the side of Swifty. Nature's Prophet tanking up the illusion. They're so difficult to deal with thanks to the illusion escape. And now zipping forward, what's it onto? It's onto Object and Killua. Killua did pop the BKB though, so he won't be affected by that grip. But there's still an Aegis. They do absolutely no damage. He has to get out of there.
Oof.
There's no damage.
Yeah, they have no ways of controlling the Phantom Lancer, or for the matter, for the fact that even the Storm is having a free game. It's just going from bad to worse for the side of Reckoning.
I haven't even seen Moon pop his Bloodstone active yet this entire game. He's never been in trouble. Oh, Killua now fighting up this Phantom Lancer. Blizzard gonna just leave the base to find Swifty, who did jump into his death. That's a dieback. He cannot stay in this game any longer. I don't think he will respawn before this game ends. Nature's Prophet, BKB, trying to TP up. He gets bashed up, killed off. They tip him.
Man, this looks rough. I think the game is just over. They're just gonna take racks, or they're just gonna go and go for the jugular.
They know why this game was the Killua jumping in, trying man against the wall. It's 1 versus 5.
GG. I think they were gonna call GG anyways. They realize that they have nothing more to do in this match.
You saw all the tips onto the Nature's Prophet.
Oh,
They knew where the mistake lay. The opponent team knows.
I mean, yeah, we have our grand final matchup. It's gonna be Squad versus Yangon Galacticos. Squad, of course, coming from the open qualifiers, and they upset everyone. They will get their revenge matchup against Yangon Galacticos. That is also another exciting match coming up. But talking about this matchup, Reckoning Esports versus Squad, they get 2-0'd. But yeah, as I was talking about, right, they just got Killua like right before the tournament. There's something that they have to work on. Even Crawley has been a new addition to their side.
That is true. You can see many signs of life. They always look very confident. Take a look at Swifty. He's 8-2-10 even in a losing game. Swifty, always on the front foot in there. Killua, he's been a gem throughout this tournament. He fights very well. Luffy showing off his tiny once again, 5-5-16. Luffy, he's when he's having a good game, his team wins. When he's not, he sets a tempo. So that's always the mark of a very important player for that team. I'd definitely be happy to see Reckoning in the future. I think they have a lot of ways to grow. And they finished top 3 in this tournament. Not too bad for a debut showing.
Yeah, and you were talking about Moon. He died just once in this match. Would you call him the Indian Sumail now after his performance? We were questioning his item choices, not going for that Evil Scepter before the Bloodstone or going for the BKB at all in this game. He still comes out on top. And
I mean, that's the mark of Sumail, you're good enough to back up the questionable item choices, you're good enough to back up the trash talk, you're Moon.
Yeah, and No Chance didn't have a good game in the finals, but really doesn't matter. They still come out on top of this game. Yeah, so yeah, we have our grand finals. After this, it's gonna come up soon, I presume. Actually, the time is 5 PM if I'm not wrong. It's 3:15 PM. Okay, I don't know. We'll pull up the timings later. But yeah, what do you have to say about a final game, the final series?
I'm very hyped for it. It's Sleepy Boys versus Yangon. Yangon, they've been dominant throughout this tournament, right? But if there's one team that I see that has a huge range of strategies available to them, Sleepy Boys, they played they played a whole bunch of strategies. They're confident with the zoo strat. They're confident with the run all around the map strat like this one. They're comfortable with the protect the Phantom Lancer strat that he just showed off as well. They have the tools they need to take down Yangon, and Yangon also has the tools to clap them hard. So I'm happy to see this final matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you'll join us for that. Can we get an easy count in minutes as to when that will be?
Yeah, give me a second. I hope you can fill in when I'm looking for that.
Sure, I can definitely fill in, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I can fill us in with? I can fill us in with more information on the Yuvin Community Cup Season 2. This time, not one, not two, but 3 different esports titles. That is Dota 2, CSGO, and Pubg Mobile. This tournament powered by Creative Peripherals Private Limited, which is a market entry and distribution specialist with presence in more than 25 locations, including Hong Kong, the UAE, and SAARC regions. Its portfolio consists of 25 plus brands, 3,000 products, and 5,000 dealers. And we are also sponsored by Cooler Master India, the Indian subsidiary of the computer hardware manufacturer based in Taiwan, which produces computer cases, power supplies, air and liquid CPU coolers, laptop cooling pads, and computer peripherals. And last but not least, it is the Yuvin Esports Private Limited that organized this Yuvin Community Cup. So we hope to engage with esports communities across South Asia and Southeast Asian regions and provide opportunities for knowledge sharing to these players. So if you guys love CSGO, you guys love Pubg Mobile, and more importantly, you guys love Dota, you stay with us. Today is the day Dota 2 ends, a sad day for us, but also a glorious, glorious day. Stay with us for the grand finals of this tournament in how many minutes, Misery?
The schedule time is 5 p.m. Indian time, so that's going to be in 3 hours, but I think it's going to be preponed a little bit because when you're making the schedule, you have to compensate for the fact that a series might go to 3 games, right? And you want to have the players refreshed before the grand finals. But yeah, I think it's going to be starting by about 3:30. It's going to like 1.5 hour break between the grand final. Should be more than enough for Sleepy Squad to strategize against Yangon Galacticos and to have a good break in between. So yeah, maybe 1.5 hours, maybe 2 hours. I'm not entirely sure. The admins are gonna be looking up to that. Into that, I guess.
Alright, we'll keep you guys updated, ladies and gentlemen. We will just post it in that YouTube chat, in the Facebook chat, I suppose, for whoever is watching right there. We will keep you guys updated, ladies and gentlemen. Do stay with us for that. And if you guys want any monitors, by the way, or any headphones, do scroll down to the description and take a look at some of our discount codes. You guys will love it, just like I love you guys, and just like I love my co-caster, Misery Signals. This is Yoa Mushi signing off. We'll be right back.
Yep. See ya.
Go. Go. Panasonic. Go! Go! Panasonic.
Go! Go!
Panasonic.
Go. Go.
Panasonic.
Go. Go.
Panasonic. Go. Go. Panasonic.
Go. Go.
Panasonic.